Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scariest tarot cards you do not want to see. Fun fact, my friend Phoebe did my reading for the year and 3 of the cards on this list cropped up for me. But I will say before we launch into this, with tarots there are a number of different meanings that could be interpreted for each and every card. So if any of these cards are pulled for you, don't panic. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing for you. The cards work for you. Okay, so my main question of the day before we get into this is, do you believe in magic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Also, while you're down there, why don't you leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend, and check out the links to our social medias in the description box. Do stick around to the end of the video where I'm going to be reading out some comments from one of my most recent ones. Alright, let's start off with the one that everyone is most afraid of, shall we? Coming in at number 10, we have Death. Yeah, okay, so the Death Tarot is dramatic and it usually symbolizes something pretty big, but it doesn't actually necessarily depict literal death. Visually, the Death card is part of the Major Arcana group and it is pretty striking and a very, very high energy card. There are a number of different decks out there, but Death is usually a skeleton, or the card features a skeleton in some way, so again, worrying when you see it. Usually the skeleton is holding a scythe and there is usually a petaled white rose. Now the Death card can actually be a really good sign. It symbolises a major transition in your life and often letting go of an old habit, situation or relationship that just doesn't serve you. For those of you who have already experienced upheaval, Death can be a good card to see as it implies the end. But also the Death card can suggest a sudden change too. It can predict an imminent breakup. It is very much a card of letting go and adjusting to new behaviours. If you see it reversed, it can be a bad thing. It could be a bad sign that you're resisting change. Now some people, like me, can be pleased when they see the Death card, but others do fear it for the upheaval. For me, I'm thinking like, yes, bring me that change. My card for February was Death. Alright, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the first of the swords. Get used to them because they are the suit of drama. Coming in at number 9, we have the 9 of Swords. Ugh, ideally you really don't want the 9 of Swords in your reading, especially not part of your future. Just looking at the 9 of Swords on most decks is enough to make anyone feel pretty stressed out. It usually depicts a person sitting with their head in their hands on their bed as if they've just awoken from a terrible nightmare. On my Morgan Greer deck, it is bound hands. The card tends to mean anxiety, negativity, worry, fear and helplessness. Now this card can also be a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy too, which is double the bad. Worrying about something bad is almost as bad as something bad happening anyway. The 9 of Swords can be an isolating card that suggests you need some help to deal with everything making you anxious. Coming into number 8, we have the 5 of Wands. Now this is a conflict card. Seeing the 5 of Wands very much suggests competition and chaos as well as a stalemate. The general depiction is of a group of men locking rods in conflict, but there is no clear winner or loser. Reversed, the card means inner conflict and indecision. Now this is a stressful card for sure, mainly because it seems to suggest a stalemate and no moving forward. The good thing with this card is that it's basically telling you that conflict isn't the resolving answer. It encourages you to give everyone airtime and work together. Nonetheless, seeing this card is a clear sign of deep frustration. Coming into number 7, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Oh dear. The 5 of Pentacles is very much the card of hard times. You don't want to see it. Nobody wants to fall on hard times, but this card is likely suggesting that you will, although the good news is that it's a minor arcana, which suggests it's only temporary. Still, seeing this card could indicate the loss of a job or loss of financial security. The imagery on the card is usually 2 impoverished people clinging onto one another in sadness, and one of them is injured. Now some people interpret this card as meaning a short sickness. The 5 of Pentacles is a card of lacking. You just don't feel like you have enough. Reversed, it can mean, on the upside, an end to hard times, or it can mean spiritual poverty or feeling dissatisfaction. It can also mean a negative and empty cycle. Bad times? Seriously, this is a card of bad times. Coming into number 6, we have the 10 of Wands. This is the card of burden. The 10 of Wands is the card of toil and being overwhelmed. Again, it is only temporary, but not a card of happy times. It's exhaustion, feeling burnt out, being on the brink. These are all the emotions associated with the 10 of Wands. In the reverse position, it can suggest emotional trauma or carrying a dark secret. In most decks, it's depicted by a person carrying a pile of wands. It's a big burden, and also they're facing away from us, meaning that this is a weight that they're carrying alone. Again, it's almost over, so it's not great, but at least it's not forever. Okay, next up we have a scary card to see, but not necessarily all as it seems. Coming into number 5, we have the Devil. I get it, you see the Devil and it is worrying. It's scary, it's my overruling card of the year apparently. Okay, to look at, the Devil is a worry. He looks pretty evil, he's sitting on a throne, he has horns, claws, wings, he has a man and a woman chained up beneath him. Now the card can be worrying to religious people, but really, it's a warning card. The Devil card can represent bad habits, bad relationships, addictions, negative thought patterns. The Devil is a card of short-term pleasure but long-term suffering. It can also suggest unhealthy attachment, obsession. The good thing about seeing the Devil card is that it is a reminder that you have control. It's a reminder to address negative behavior or address indulgence. It is a big energy card, but once again, perhaps a bit of a warning sign. The Devil reversed is asking you to level up and become your best self. Okay, next up, in ancient readings, this card would be used to foreshadow a death at number 4. We have the Knight of Swords. Now, in most modern interpretations, the upright Knight of Swords can be all about pursuing goals, but a warning not to be too rash. In older readings and predictive readings, the card represented war, ruin, and the approach of death. Now there's a lot of mirror symbolism in the Rider-Waite deck between the Death card and the Knight of Swords cards. In a love reading, the Knight of Swords cards can represent violence, anger, and conflict when it really isn't what you want. Oh gosh, this one makes me feel. It gives me all of the feels. Get ready for some heartbreak. At number 3, we have the Three of Swords. Oh, this is not a great looking card. It basically says it all. Just looking at it is very, very ominous. The classic depiction is 3 swords through a heart, but it can also be 3 ominous looking figures stabbing a heart or a flower. The card traditionally means grief, sorrow, heartbreak, hurt, emotional and physical wounds. This isn't a good card, you don't want to see it. The only silver lining is the clouds in the background, a suggestion that the emotional storm won't last, and a reminder that every cloud does indeed have a silver lining. Storms pass, you'll move on. This card is a signifier that you or someone very close to you will get hurt very, very soon. Now the card is all about emotional release and a reminder not to get lost in the storm and focus on the bigger picture. Worryingly, the card can also represent a period of painful mourning, so there could be a death. Reverse, the card is warning you not to hurt others and encouraging you to move on. For me, this is probably the card I fear second to most. The most you'll find at number 1, but in the meantime, let's talk about this absolute menagerie of pain at number 2. We have the Ten of Swords. This card actually came up a lot for me last year, and it makes a lot of sense. I didn't have a great year. So this one is one of the most visually stressful tarot cards in all of the decks. It tends to show a person being stabbed by 10 different swords, and they're either dead on the ground or screaming in pain. So this card means a very painful ending, physical and emotional pain, some very deep wounds, loss, crisis. The card can signify a breakup, a bad ending, being fired, a friend betraying you, nothing good. I say that, but actually tens do signify the completion of a cycle, so it is pain, but it isn't forever. It's a worst case scenario card, but when it's done, it's done. The Ten of Swords invites you to accept it. It's kind of worse to see it reversed, as it suggests that you're trying to avoid inevitable pain, maybe trying to avoid a breakup. Reversed, it's kind of like inviting you to rip the band-aid off. Band-Aid. I've lived in North America for too long. Okay, finally at number 1, we have the scariest card of them all. We have the Tower. Major Arcana, Major Energy. The Tower is the biggie. So pictorially, lightning is striking the tower. It's on fire. Kings and queens are losing their crowns and falling very hard into choppy tides. That tower is no longer safe. It is coming down. It is getting destroyed. So yeah, tower, stressful. When this card appears, expect the unexpected. Literally. It is a card of chaos, destruction, change, and upheaval. Traditionally, it can mean a divorce, death of someone close to you, an event that shakes you to your very core, something affecting who you are, total destruction. It can even depict an actual natural disaster like an earthquake, or sometimes it might even foreshadow an accident. This card suggests that everything you believe to be true or trusted could be turned on its head. With an upright tower, change is external, but with a reverse tower, change is internal. internal and reflects your calling into question. It basically invites you to question your beliefs in a very, very serious way. It can also be a sign that you're resisting change and necessary destruction is nigh. So unlike the reverse Ten of Swords, this isn't a rip the band-aid off sign, this is a take a wrecking ball to it sign. When you see the Tower, oof, honey, baby, boy, brace yourself. The good thing though is that when the worst happens, when that tower comes down, you can rebuild afresh, if that's any comfort. So guys, that's the top 10 scariest tarot cards you do not want to see. Do you believe it? Do you read cards? Have you ever had your cards read? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to let me know if you believe in magic. Ooh, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Also, while you're down there, why don't you leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend. But before I go, I'm just going to read some comments from one of Landon's most recent videos. It was the top 10 funniest tweets part 8. Now, a lot of us actually popped up in it, including myself and Danny. And also the team from Top 5 Scary Videos. So this is what you guys had to say. Ooh, I'm just going to read comments from our channel members for this one, because why not? Thank you for being members of our channel. Jared Quinney was confused and amused. He said, "This is really awful. It's really funny. I just don't like some of the responses." But then he said, "Part 9, please." Make up your mind. Sharon Mellon, great name, said, "LMAO, brilliant, love this, especially seeing you all take part. More please, part 9. Plus more scary ones from Danny." I'll tell him. I like scary too, it's nice to get a bit creepy. I feel like deep down I'm maybe a bit of a creep. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Once again, please do like it with a thumbs up. Please do subscribe, we're almost at 5 million. Check out the links to the social media in the description box and, you know, stick around for more videos. We do 2 a day. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, I'll see you next time.